Welcome to Anna Ayurveda Podcast. I'm Anna Castle, owner and founder of Yoga Castle Studio, a yoga and Ayurveda wellness experience. In this podcast, I hope to be able to provide you with tips, tools, recommendations, where I really tap into all of my training, my education, and resources to help guide you along in your journey of healing. Ayurveda is the science of life, and it is a sister science of yoga. And in order to live a yogic lifestyle, you must incorporate Ayurveda. They really go hand in hand. Yoga and Ayurveda originated in India thousands of years ago, and it was studied as together as one practice. And it was not until yoga and Ayurveda was introduced to the Western society that it evolved into separate practices. So today, my mission is to bring awareness to how essential yoga and Ayurveda is to help us keep balanced with our emotions, our body, our diet, exercise, spirituality, mindfulness, really in every single aspect of our lives. So today's topic I'll be discussing on how to be mindful when dealing with imbalanced family members. So in this current pandemic that we're experiencing, we've been confined at home and forced to spend quality time with our family, and which should be a good thing, right? But what if you have to deal with a family member or a loved one day in and day out during this quarantine who is unbalanced and doesn't realize their condition or just doesn't want to help themselves? One of my dearest friends and mentor taught me a very important lesson: to respond rather than to react. She would close every one of her yoga classes with that reminder, and I have never forgotten it as an important part of my self-care practice and mindfulness. So, as far as self-care goes, we've been hearing a lot about it, right? About tips on how to take care of ourselves and how to be more mindful. But self-care should also include the practice of how to deal with the people that test you, challenge you, or that just dull your sparkles. So, with that being said, here are some personal tips on how I deal with imbalanced family members or loved ones based on Ayurvedic principles that I've implemented in my life and have been effective for me. So, according to Ayurveda, and you've heard me say this probably a million times, like increases like, and opposites decrease or balance. So, 5 steps here that I'm going to go over with you. First step is to understand that hurt people hurt people. They say and do things based on their life experiences and their deep-seated issues that they've never taken the time to address or resolve just because they didn't know how, they didn't have the tools. And it begins to manifest itself, all those years of stressors and bad experiences in your life. If you don't address them, it manifests itself into resentment, anger, depression, anxiety. And to understand that these type of people, they're not bad people. They've just never received the proper help. So it's important that we not only understand this, but that we teach our children why people act the way they do, so that children don't grow up with those same emotions and they end up resenting that person. So understanding this at a very young age can be a good start to collecting the tools for your imaginary toolbox of tricks on how to handle life. Therefore, if you resent this person, you are increasing their imbalance as well as your imbalance. If you do the opposite by understanding why they act the way they do, you are not feeding the fire, so to speak, and you are decreasing all toxic emotions. Second step is to set boundaries. This is difficult for a lot of people to do. So often people who are imbalanced tend to like to argue. While it's okay to have a discussion about the way that you feel, setting boundaries is important so it doesn't turn into a heated discussion by feeding that fire. State how you feel in a positive manner and let them state how they feel. And when they state it, it may not come out in a positive way. In all likelihood, it won't be positive. So, and expect that they will not agree with you no matter what you say. So just let them talk. It's healing for them to just let it out, even if they're screaming at you. But keep in mind that they don't want to intentionally hurt you. So don't fight back. Let them have the last word. You've already stated how you felt. You made your point in a positive light, in a positive manner. If you're having that conversation on the phone and you can feel that tension, you can feel where it's going, just say you have to go and that you'll talk later. Trust me, an hour later, they'll completely forget about it and not even realize their behavior. Step 3 is help them in subtle ways, especially if they don't think they need help. Instead of saying the words, you need help, you need counseling, which can start an argument, and just say things or talk about things that help yourself. So talk about how your yoga practice makes you feel or how your meditation grounds you and keeps you calm, or talk about the teas you enjoy drinking. They may never admit to wanting to try any of the things that you talk about or that you mention, but at least you put it in the back of their minds and they know it's there if they want it. Remember that you can't help someone that doesn't want to help themselves. However, you can give them the tools or at least let them be aware of what's available and give them that choice of whether or not they want to utilize those tools. An imbalanced person likes to be in control. It's important to give them that space and time to figure out what they need when the time is right for them. And it's also important for you to be there to support them. Fourth step is to remain positive. Always remain positive. This could be a real challenge when that imbalanced person in your life is constantly throwing negative comments out towards you or just about life in general. Learning how to respond rather than to react will not only help you remain calm, but will also help the imbalanced person remain calm as well. Remember, like increases like, and opposites balance. Step 5, lastly, take care of yourself by keeping yourself informed, educating yourself on mental illness, keeping a journal about your feelings to help sort out your thoughts and emotions. Participate in support groups with people of like minds. Sign up for classes on mindfulness or mental health. Maybe even start your own support group. And you may be surprised your loved one or family member might decide to join in. So I want to thank you, and I want you to thank yourself for taking time to explore opportunities to learn how to respond rather than to react, and to be a better person, not only for yourself, but for others as well. In the words of the guru Baba Hari Das, as soon as the person starts thinking, I want to be a better person, that is the start of yoga. Be balanced, be well, stay healthy. Namaste.